There you go.
Welcome back to Three-Sport. Raven, you want?
Welcome back to Three-Sport. Defense. My favorite thing to coach. To me, the most important part of the game of basketball is what can you get done on the defensive end? And not only as an individual, but as a team. We're going to teach the individual part of it. I've been at this business for 35 years, driven around a lot of towns where basketball is kind of king of the town. And I've seen a lot of kids out in driveways, on the playground. And one thing I can always tell you is that they always had a basketball in their hand and they're always working on their jumper or they're playing some pickup or whatever. I have yet to ever drive by a court and see anybody working on defensive slides. Just never happens. And so this part of the game, you're not going to get your kids to work on it on their own. You have to teach it and you have to make it a priority. Otherwise, it could, in the long run, cost you an opportunity to win a game when you need that final stop in the final seconds of a game. You know, think back to Gonzaga and UCLA. I mean, without the charge and stepping over and Timmy taking the charge at the end of the game, you know, Gonzaga doesn't have an opportunity to win that game. And so the defensive plays can make or break a team's success. So it's such an integral part. So my defensive background comes from my time at Marymount College with a guy by the name of Ken Cochran, who's passed away, but Heart of America sports camps and what I learned from that has kind of been the installation of who I am as a defensive coach. Defense is going to prom. Okay, you got your girl on your arm. She's all dressed up. You got your tux on. I'm sorry, cut that.
Yeah, we'll cut out UCLA, Gonzaga,
okay.
as well.
Okay.
So I've got a good stopping point there. So just kind of pick up on defensive philosophy.
Okay. Offense, in my opinion, is like you're going to prom, okay? You've got the limousine, you've got your tux on, you got your girl on your arm, and it's a night out on the town, and offense gets all the press, man. You read the papers, it's all about offense. How many points this guy score? How many team points do they score? And it gets everything. Defense doesn't get a lot of attention, and it can be the difference maker. Defense, in my opinion, is kind of like being a blue-collar worker. All right, you're going to go out and you're going to put on your coveralls. You're going to freaking pull up the mud boots. And you're going to go out in the hot sun in a July, Kansas day, and you're going to dig trenches all day. And you're going to have that pickaxe and you're going to swing it and you're going to sweat and you're going to battle and you're going to fight. And at the end of the day, you're going to see what was a production of your labor, what you put into it. You're going to see what that produced. And that's kind of what defense is, man. It doesn't get a lot of glory, but man, it can produce results and it can produce wins. And, you know, I want to know for players, for me, you know, if they take you and they cut you open, what's that ticker like, man? Is it one of these or is it like this? You know, because that's what makes a defensive player really go. What do they have inside of them? You know, are they willing to dive on the floor? Are they willing to sacrifice their body with the charge? Are they willing to run through a wall to be where they need to be? And the best defensive players I've ever coached were also the best communicators I've ever had on the team. And they took pride in getting stops. And it's a pride thing. So we're going to start with the fundamentals. We're going to start with the basics, and that's the stance. So we're going to work on the stance right here. We use a term that we call tube. Okay, T-U-B-E, tube. And it's a very simple, simplistic way to put you in the right stance. So I want you to get on the red line, all right? And I want you to imagine right now that hanging from the rafters up above you, there is this glass tube or cylinder, okay? And it's connected to this wire. So I'm going to push the button, boom, and here comes this glass tube, and it's right over the top of you, just like this, okay? So you've got this. Go ahead, put your hands up. Can you feel it? Can you feel it here? Yep. Can you feel it behind you? Yep, there it is. So you've got this glass tube surrounding you right now, all right? And I'm going to give you $100 for every spot on that tube you can touch with your body. And your goal is to make $1,000, okay? So think about that. So how many places do I have to touch to make $1,000? So I'm gonna give you 100 for every place. 10. I need to touch 10 spots. So everything like we talked about on our fundamentals of passing, we're going to talk about fundamentals of shooting, fundamentals of footwork. It starts with footwork. Lower part of my body, okay? So what about my feet? Well, I want my feet, let's start here, a little wider than shoulder width. Okay? And so I'm going to touch there. I'm going to touch that tube there. Okay? So a little bit wider shoulder width. I'm going to bend my knees, and I'm going to get down. Okay? As I bend down, this knee and this knee are going to touch the tube. Okay? Not my head, so I don't want to bend over my waist. I want my knees, so I got to sit down like I'm in a chair. And then as I also bend down, all right, what other part of my body touches that tube? Yeah, your butt. How many cheeks you got back there? Hopefully you got 2, all right? So there's 2 more. So we got feet, we got knees, we got cheeks. What do we got? How much money did we just make there? $600, right? There we go. We just made $600 from the waist down. So that tells me over half of my money is made with my feet. And I've got to, I got to get my body in the position. All right, so what about up top? Where do we go next? Hands. All right, I want one up. I'm going to touch here. That's 700. My elbow out. That's 800. Right there. Okay, and I'm going to touch here. I want one down to swipe, one up to contest. So here and here, elbow bent, and I'm right here. $1,000. My butt's down, my head's up, okay, and I'm in this position right here, and I'm ready to guard.